Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Quickie Reviews.
It's not called Quickie Reviews.
Quickies behind the Quickie Mart.
Wait, what did you call it?
Let's
What did we name it?
Can we just restart this, please?
It was you sat down and asked me if I wanted to talk about this video here. Click Jonathan to see that. So we didn't really have a name for it. We're doing a 5 off of Ghostbusters, everybody, but we're gonna take the 5 part kind of out of it, and there are some things that people want to talk about a little bit more. So
Cue that intro music.
there is no intro music.
Oh my gosh, this is crashing and burning.
It's wonderful. So we're gonna list 5-ish things we like, 5-ish things we dislike, 5-ish things we want to change, and we're gonna stick to describing the movie in 5 words afterwards. So.
Oh, we're doing afterwards? Or gotta go first?
Huh?
Okay, let's continue.
What? Okay. Anyway, so we'll start with 5-ish things we like. Grady.
So, Jesus, put me on the spot here. I guess one thing I really liked was Kate McKinnon as Boltzmann. Definitely, I thought she was wacky. I liked her her mannerisms. I don't know, it was her and Leslie Jones as Patty Tolan that made the movie for me. And that's just those two girls. I can't really say the same for Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig. I mean, they were okay and just there, but those are the two ladies that I actually love the most. I would have to say the fact that the movie didn't really take itself too seriously. Cause you know the whole big old thing that was like the effects was what people really didn't like about it. I thought the effects were pretty, adorable and cute. I guess that could be a 4. Cute effects. You can edit the silence out, right?
Yeah, totally.
That way I don't look like a freak.
I mean, I won't, but I can. We have the ability, but we do not have the desire.
No. Please don't make me look like an idiot on the internet.
I won't make you look like an idiot on the internet.
How did I get this bag over me? Dopinder. That's not really a like. That's just mentioning the fact that he was in the movie. Crisp high five. And I don't know. I guess another thing I just liked is that the overall vibe was cute. Just that was it. That's all I described the movie. It was just poo.
That joke's gonna make no sense to no one on the internet, but I love it.
Find the clip. Well, Grady's got the episode, so send it to you.
Alright, great. Now I'll put the clip here. It makes even less sense to people now they just know it's a clip. Everybody watch Botsu Games.
It's like, thanks for the clip. What does it go to?
Alright. Grady, anything else?
I think that's really about it. It was a pretty alright movie.
Solid. Jonathan, your 5-ish things.
Okay, what you call it? I also like Holtman. What you call it? Holtzman?
Holtzman.
Holtzman. Sorry, I'm bad with names.
I'm sorry, Kate McKinnon. He did not mean to call you Holman.
Holtzman.
Holtzman.
Click here on Jonathan's face to see the I'm sorry that I suck, where he talks about how he's bad with names.
Hey, gosh. But I really enjoyed her character. Like Grady said, there's a lot of wackiness to it, and I really enjoyed it. It felt like her character was like actually made for like a Ghostbusters style movie, and just her whole outfit and aesthetic was just very fitting. I liked how free the movie was. A lot of the dialogue it felt really unscripted. It felt like a really long like SNL sketch, and I thought that was fun at times. 3. I would say, what'd you call it? I liked how it was shot. It was really, really well done shot. It's not anything extraordinary, but it's well shot. Four. Do I have a four?
I don't have the Rorschach costume for a cutaway, so I have a 4.
How about just more Patty? And I think I know what your 5 is.
Alright.
Oh, we both know what your 5 is. So what
Oh,
you get?
oh yeah!
No, that's your 5. Get your 4 out.
Yeah, what you call it? I'll say Patty because what you call it, she contributed a lot to the movie as well.
And 5, Grady on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, Kevin!
Kevin! Our man Kevin.
What'd you call it? Kevin killed it with the comedy in every friggin' line. I swear. As soon as Kevin came on screen, I was just like, is this movie even real?
Just take out all the Ghostbusters, take out the ghosts, just give me Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin the movie. You just want to see Kevin go through daily life, not quite making it, but making it on his looks.
Yeah, just... I don't even want to give away any of the jokes, but just everything with Kevin is fantastic.
Solid number 5. Anything else?
What'd you call it? Kevin? Nothing that comes. Yeah, Kevin.
More Kevin?
More Kevin.
For us to have so much wiggle room, we're sticking to the 5 system pretty well. 5 for me. They definitely have fun with this movie. It showed with the final product that everyone on set clearly enjoyed what they were doing, and they weren't letting the pressure of living up to another film that had a full-fledged fandom and following overwhelm them. Big problem that I've had with the reboots lately, Jurassic World and Star Wars Episode 7, I feel like they play it safe because they have to.
Yeah.
And Ghostbusters was kind of a fresh pace on that because they were thinking, you know what? We're going to make a Ghostbusters movie and we're going to keep the fun that the original had, where you can tell that everyone enjoys what they're doing. It was a thing that I feel like with movies now, with reboots and everything, people are kind of tired of them. We've got so many reboots, from Transformers to Jurassic World. It's a little overwhelming, and you see another reboot and you're like, oh, can we get some new ideas? But with this one, I feel like taking the original out of it, you can still have a quality film here, and it's not trying to, while it's still respecting and paying homage to the material, it's not trying to ride its coattails or step in front of it and go, but we are Ghostbusters, but with this kind of thing. And I was worried about that with the advertising, but it did a wonderful job for reboot movies, and I'd like to see more reboot movies like that in the future. Love Patty. I'll make this point a little shorter. I thought she was a great character. Everything that she said, I kind of clapped to myself and thought, yeah, you go, Patty. I liked how her character was with the other Ghostbusters, where even though she wasn't a science person, she still had her own background and personality. And by the way that you saw in the trailers, I was a little worried that she might get kind of pushed to the side, but she definitely had a personality in her own right, and I liked that a lot. Some of the new weapons that they have for the Ghostbusters are really cool. I like the, and spoilers here, even though they're minor, I like the ghost fist that they have where you can punch ghosts. That was super cool.
Oh, that sounds... The spoiler, it's in the trailer.
Oh, somebody will get mad at me.
Big gosh.
So, ghost fist punching was cool. The little ghost pistols, even though we didn't get to see them a lot, they were so cool. Ghost grenades, those were cool. Just cool movie. Just cool to show stuff off, and they showed it off in a way that it felt very organic, where it wasn't like, oh, we've got these secret weapons that make us super special. It was like, oh, we need weapons. Here's our weapons.
Yeah.
We're going to show you the proton pack. We're going to show you the ghost trap. But I've also got these here. And so I felt like, again, it was a thing of they took their material and enhanced it. That's 3. I really liked the performance from Abby and Aaron with their dynamic. Or Aaron, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron with an E, because she's everything you need. I remember that.
That's what she said to Kevin.
That's what she said to Kevin. It all comes back to Kevin. But I liked their relationship a lot, where it was friends that had drifted apart, and they didn't play it hard in the movie. Like, once it was time to bust Ghost, they bust Ghost, but they bring it back at the end again, spoilers, you guys know what this is. They bring it back around and it doesn't feel forced. It's a very natural moment between them. So without giving that away, the friendship leading up to the big finale for that little arc was very nice and well done. Finally, I liked that they enhanced the universe that they were in. At the beginning you see the Ghost Corps logo, and if we're going to have more building off of this movie, then I'm all for it, because it felt like it established its universe very well, rather than trying to force a universe just to make more movies. So I feel like it was a world that was, you could see other things happening here. Like I could see other Ghostbusting groups coming out of this and be like, well, you're Ghostbusters for New York, well, we're going to be Ghostbusters for Maine or Boston, Chicago, whatever. I could see very naturally a development going on there. So that was nice.
International Ghost Hunters.
And 6, just for the sake of having our little wiggle room, I really liked that when they modernize the movie, they include a lot of the ghost hunting tools that you see on shows like Ghost Hunters International and Ghost Detectives. I feel like it's a real thing. I don't know. It sounds cheesy, but it's probably real.
Cartoon. I think Ghost Detectives was an old cartoon show.
I have no idea.
Look it up.
But they use like the different tools, like I think it's EMTs or whatever. They incorporated those very well to where it was like, okay, you did your research here clearly. You didn't just stick to the old stuff. You've updated it in a natural feeling way because you're using real world technology. Okay, so that's 6, so that we can justify the wiggle room.
Next time on Ghost Hunters.
We're going to talk about the 5 things we dislike. Ooh, Grady, start us off.
Well, I don't know if I'll reach 5, but I guess one thing would be, fart jokes. It's for the kids, I guess. I didn't really like them, nor did I really care about them. Fart and poop jokes all the time. Sometimes I felt like whenever, what was it, Patty and, no, not Patty, I love Patty. Abby and Aaron went on their tangents. Like, this is just like, you know how on set actors will do ad-lib stuff?
Yeah.
I felt like they did a lot of ad-lib scenes and they kept it in the final product. Not saying ad-lib scenes are wrong, but I felt like most of them broke their characters.
Okay.
So I noticed a few editing mistakes here and there, just minor editing mistakes, not anything too big. For some reason, there's a moment where the girls arrive in New York. I'm gonna keep this spoiler-free as possible. They arrive in New York.
We've got a spoiler alert, go for it.
And then I think Abby starts talking and they start getting out of the car, but then for some reason it just showed the camera zoom in right on the light. And I was like, what? Why? Who was that? You okay, Mr. DP?
That's an important light.
It was an important light.
They said it was an illegal siren. That's an important light.
Yeah, it was important. Very important. Another thing I didn't like was that there was not enough Kevin.
Not enough Kevin.
Just kidding. No, that.
I've got 3.
I would have to say, the cameos. I mean, I did appreciate the cameos, but I felt like it was like, hey, here's Dan Aykroyd, here's Billy Murray, Billy Murray.
Good old Billy.
Here's everyone else that you remember from the old Ghostbusters.
Well,
Except poor Harold Ramis. Rest in peace, Harold Ramis. We miss you. You need to come back and make some more movies.
wait.
Yeah, he passed away.
No, it's because I was going to come back and make more movies.
I ain't afraid of a ghost making a movie.
Okay.
I would love to see Ghost make
Dude,
movies.
if Harold Ramis came back as a ghost and made a movie,
Yo,
I would see it.
You know that Ghost would make weird, existential art films, though. It would be like Rubber, but without the metaphor.
Yeah.
It would just be like trash moving through, and it'd be like Ghost can see what's happening, but for the rest of us, were watching a plastic bag in a parking lot for 3 hours.
I love the idea of what you call it, just ghosts moving stuff and then filming it like, yeah, this is great. And then people going like, what is this? It's just a trash bag floating in the wind.
You must be this dead, go attend this movie.
Can I go since I'm dead on the inside?
If you can see the ghost of the ticket teller, you can go in.
Gosh.
I see him. Do you now?
What color is his hair?
How many fingers is he holding up?
He's holding up 4. You got a 5th for him? Back on track?
Yeah, back on track.
Trying? Oh gosh.
But that's all my complaints I really had for the movie.
The fun of the movie is infectious. We're all just having fun. Jonathan, 5 things you disliked about Ghostbusters.
Okay, it's my favorite part.
Oh lord.
Alright. 1, what you call it, even though I like the freeness, like Grady said, the ad-libs could go on for too long, and there was like specific cuts where I could see they had a longer scene, and they were just like, yeah, that's all we need to see of that scene. And it's abrupt. That goes into my second one, the awkward cuts.
Mm-hmm.
What you call it? Like, I know there's cuts made to like seal the like passage of time to make it go short.
Oh, no, you will die.
Is that that one?
I think he might actually have a ghost in him. Zool, are you here with us now? I'm totally gonna put an awkward cut here.
But it's what you call it? Like within the first scene, this is really a big spoiler, but what you call it? A guy goes into a room, goes down the stairs, and then what you call it? Like stuff happens, and then he's at the very bottom of the stairs. I'm like, wait, why couldn't we just see him go down the stairs as it happened? And that happened a lot throughout the movie, where it was just like, cut, okay, that happened.
Yeah, cut, next scene.
Yeah.
Cut, next scene. Okay, can we go back?
Yeah, like, I felt like they're in incomplete scenes and
Mhm.
quotes. 3, the choreography. What you call it? During the fight scene, it was kind of like, alright, they kind of just let them do whatever they wanted. It was like that scene in The Mummy where Brendan Fraser's kind of like punching all the mummies, and it looks like he's just doing whatever he wants to, and they're editing around.
Yeah, but you have to remember, this is Brendan Fraser we're talking about.
Click on Grady's face to see our holiday for Brendan Fraser.
Now I know we can get into the Mummy later on, like in another episode, but nobody touches Brendan Fraser. Anyway, but yeah, I know what you mean. It looks kind of green screen. Like you could tell they were in front of a green screen.
Well, what did you call it? It wasn't that. It was like the fact that it wasn't.
It wasn't choreographed as much?
Yeah, what did you call it? It was more free.
Oh, so it was like they just said do whatever. Pretend you're fighting ghosts.
You want an example of that? Spy Kids 2.
Yeah.
There's a scene where there's like skeletons and it's a sword fight, I believe.
Yeah.
And you can see that the kids just swinging wildly, and they're like, the skeleton's arms like a noodle while he's trying to justify the swings that this kid's making.
Yeah. And what do you call it? That kind of like made me sad because they had so many cool weapons and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, just tell them to do a specific thing and then like map it out with them.
So more Avenger style choreography.
Yeah, what do you call it? Like, I want to see more like you can tell, hey, because this ghost is coming this way, she's going to do this, and it would sync up better with everyone else's position.
So
And
like
it would look way neater.
So like, the director should have said, "This is what the ghost's gonna do." Not, "I'm gonna match the ghost to what you do."
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
Like,
Maybe a thing of practical effects on set.
Oh yeah, they could have easily done that.
Even something to be edited out later. Just like something to swing at.
yeah, what do you call it? Like, they can go over it with a person like real time, and then what you call it, they would run through. For seeing, jeez, I swear I had a lot more of these in my head.
He's so bitter, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you call it? I'm bitter about everything. I just don't let it free a lot.
I mean, you give me like 20, 40 minutes, I can drive back home, get my Rorschach costume, we can do an aftercut.
No. But the relationship between Abby and Aaron is kind of like, it's. I know it's supposed to be there, like they say they're childhood friends and stuff, but it's not really like that apparent between their chemistry.
Oh yeah, I kept forgetting that they had a. I kept forgetting they had a little heated debate earlier that they separated. I
In
honestly
defense of
forgot.
that, but I do agree because the beginning that they set up, it felt like it was more of like a toxic end to their friendship. But I took it as kind of like those guys you hang out with in high school and then you kind of drift away from. I don't feel like it was portrayed necessarily that way at the beginning. Like it didn't seem like they had some sort of big falling out. But I interpreted it as kind of a like they were close and then they just drifted away. And then she's like, oh my gosh, she posted, well, it'll be the equivalent of, oh my gosh, she posted this photo on Facebook. I need to go track her down and tell her, hey, take this down kind of thing.
Yeah, but what'd you call it? Like for me, it felt like it was pointing in that direction of, hey, now that they're back together doing this Ghostbusters thing, they're picking up where they left off. And it wasn't very, very apparent. Like when they're telling the story about how they met in high school, it's just like, yeah, we're friends again, but it's not really shown in the rest of the movie. Like they never really interact with each other like after that.
So would you have enjoyed it more if it was like a drift away kind of thing and it wasn't displayed as like a falling out?
What you call it? I actually would have enjoyed it more if they weren't friends at all, like beforehand.
Okay.
Because what you call it, then you can establish a relationship more throughout the movie.
Fair point.
Hold
5, not enough time.
No, 5. The plot kind of is What you call it? Like how did this villain come up with this plan that opened up portals to summon ghosts? It's not really all there. What you call it? Points of it aren't clear. The mayor is an idiot for no particular reason.
You're right.
And just like at points of it, I was just really questioning the plot and just wondering, why is this happening if they have people on this who actually know about ghost happenings?
Ghost Happenings sounds like a show that would be on.
Next time on Ghost Happenings.
Ghost happenings.
Okay, 5 things that I wasn't fond of in the movie. What was Kate's character's name? Jillian something?
Jillian Holtzman.
Holtzman, that's it. I felt like her character at the beginning of the movie it felt like she was being used to move things. Like she would move the original proton pack on the subway, she would move the gadgets around, and she'd come back with the car fixed. But she didn't feel like she was actually present. Like I felt like the stuff that she was doing could be, any of the other Ghostbusters could have done it. And then there were shots that I swear she's just green screened in. Like it looks like there's a scene where she is sitting on a table, but all the other Ghostbusters are standing around. It looks like she was just put in there. And her character came around later after, I'd say probably the middle of Act 2. She comes in and she gets her character development, becomes part of the group. But for the first act, I feel like they kind of gypped her on just kind of her presence. She doesn't really directly say much. She just kind of agrees a lot. She just kind of is the hype man for the Ghostbusters for a bit.
There was something, now that I think about it, for some reason, I thought there was going to be tension between Aaron and Holtzman because of the whole, this is my new best friend now, Abby was kind of doing.
That would have been nice.
And I thought that was going to happen, but it was just it It didn't, because they did the long handshake, and then like they like showed Aaron kind of looking a little like, what the heck?
See, I thought it was the opposite. I thought there was romantic tension between her and Aaron.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters sequel. It'd be interesting, just as a potential thing to put in the script of like if that were Abby and Aaron's old handshake.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That would have been nice for some conflict. But it did feel like at the beginning she was just kind of gypped on stuff to do. Like she carries the weapons and she makes new ones appear, but until they kind of get into the ghost busting groove, she doesn't feel like she's adding much. So I would have liked to have seen more from her because I liked her when she got going. It was just a matter of slower to start than all the
It's
others.
just probably one of those things where the guys are like, or the creators are like, we'll wait for the sequel.
Very possibly, but I don't know. You had a very strong cast here. I just feel like none of them got their equal time. You guys have spoken on the editing. There was one thing that just bugged the heck out of me. When they're fighting ghosts, and okay, you've seen the spoiler alert, I'll put it back. When they're fighting ghosts and Aaron is fighting the tall Uncle Sam, she says, "Say hello to my little friend," and it's showing us the ghost. She starts it with the voiceover, "Say hello," and then it cuts to her, and it says, "To my little friend," but her mouth isn't moving.
I didn't notice. Oh wait, I think I might have noticed that, but like it was so insignificant because I was looking at the gun.
Because I was just like, oh, they're saying "say hello," they're funny. They're and then it's just like her mouth isn't moving. What?
Yeah, that can take you out of it.
And then when Holtzman is eating Pringles at another point, she's eating them. It cuts back. They're gone. Cuts back to her. Crumbs all fall down her face.
Continuity.
And it wasn't like I'm stickler for continuity. It just felt like it was heavily edited. I was like, okay, I can see your cut there, and then you came back and reshot this scene or added something in, and that kind of felt weird. The scene where there's Ghostbusters pressed to the pavement, and it showed like the up against glass shot. I felt weird about because it's like, why am I seeing through the city street kind of thing?
It looked bizarre.
It just didn't feel right. There were some cuts that I feel like if we got like an unedited, like a full story version of this, it would probably be like 3 hours like we got with Batman vs. Superman, like an Ultimate Edition. But I feel like there's some stuff there that they took out. And you see that with Thor dancing around in the end credits. It shows like, because he pauses everyone in disco pose. I was like, why is he, that's weird, why is he doing that? And then in the credits you see that he made him dance around and stuff. I'm like, okay, there was some clear cutting for time.
It's
here.
odd, and then why they put that in the credits.
Yeah.
They've shot a lot more than.
There's clearly a lot more than we saw.
What'd you call it? I think that would be a good time for them to do that, like new Ghostbusters song they did with what'd you call it? Was it
Fall Out Boy?
Yeah, Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, it was Fall Out Boy.
What'd you call it? And I was just like, why not put it there and just put it over the car for like 2 minutes?
Yeah. Let's see. That was 2. Third thing wasn't totally crazy about. Probably. I don't know. I don't like Bill Murray coming in and like not believing ghosts. But out of all the cameos, I felt like his was the most justified. Like, oh, you have that stickler person that needs evidence. It's like modern age, yeah, you need somebody else who's like, oh, I don't believe in ghosts. Oh, there's a ghost. But at the same time, the cameos felt like they didn't feel natural, except for Bill Murray and when we had our secretary at the hotel scene. Other than those two, it was just like, well, we got to give them time. Let's stop the movie, show our old actors. We're good. They got their joke. Going back.
Sam, edit this out.
So those felt a little weird. That's 3.
What'd you call it? Before you move off that one, like how do you feel about Bill Murray's cameos as a whole?
I feel like the character is necessary because we live in a day where they show the internet, like the comments and everything saying, oh, it's fake and stage. I like it and it's a necessary character, but I feel like they tiptoed around it too much because it was Bill Murray. When I say I don't like Bill Murray saying that ghosts aren't real, it's because I feel like it's Bill Murray and not the character. It felt like, rather than the character being made to advance the story, it was a character to show off Bill Murray. If he had been meaner about it, maybe But, well, I'll bring that to my fourth point, but maybe if he had been a little sexist, perhaps, or if he said like, "Oh, Ghost is a men's industry" or something to make the audience hate him, and make him a clear antagonist. But it felt like he was being cradled because it's Bill, he's our golden boy. Let's not put him in a bad light. So that was a little fickle. That was 3, right, or 4?
You said you were moving on into your...
Oh, moving on to my fourth, right. There were some jokes that felt a little weak because they felt very, I don't know the word for it, but I'd say girl power-ish, where it's like the obligatory, we're women jokes. And
Which one?
like, because they're very few and far between, so it's very small, right? But when, and again, spoiler, when they have the big logo ghost going through and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna hit him in the nuts." And they make note of like, "Yeah, we hit him in the nuts because he's a guy, and that's a guy weakness."
That's for those though, kid humor.
Like, I feel like to focus on our actors, and her name is escaping me. Abby
is Melissa McCarthy.
Thank you, Melissa McCarthy. She was in the movie Spy. And Spy was really well done, where it had a female lead, but it didn't rely on those kind of jokes. She just got to be funny. Letting them be actors and have their fun and let them be naturally funny is better than taking a moment to stop and go, "Yeah, we're girls, we're better than the guys," kind of thing. Those jokes, compared to the good humor that we had, didn't feel organic, didn't feel well placed, and just kind of, whenever they happened, I was like, "Really? That's what you're going for?" So they only happened maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the entire film, but when they did happen, they kind of took me out for a minute, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the movie that everyone's protesting because it's all girls." And
I still have no idea why.
I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I don't think it made a difference if they were male or female.
Haven't people gender bent stuff before all the time, and it was perfectly okay?
And I remember a gripe when this movie came out was that they're like, "Oh, they gender bent Ghostbusters," and I feel like when you put those jokes in, you're validating that a little more, rather than saying like,
It's its own movie.
rather than letting it be its own movie. For example, they bring in Slimer. They bring in male Slimer. They bring in a female Slimer.
Yeah.
This is a new character that we haven't seen. It's Slimer as a girl. That's a step in the right direction because you're not taking Slimer and saying, "Oh, it's a girl now. There never was a male Slimer." You're saying like, "Oh, it just happens to be another ghost."
Yeah.
Just like this just happens to be another Ghostbusters movie. It's not a female Ghostbusters movie. It's just Ghostbusters. And I feel like that's an important thing. The Ghostbusters, when they put up the logo, it's a Ghostbusters logo. It's not like glittery and pink and stereotypical like people are trying to make this movie. But when we put those not great jokes in, it's just giving people ammo to say, well, this is lesser because it's female comedy.
Yeah.
So that was a gripe, just for those few moments. Last one, because I need 5. Probably that the ghost effects seemed a little shaky sometimes. There were good ones, like they have the Pilgrim and the giant Uncle Sam and the parade floats, but then they also had some weird ones that felt kind of like they were just there, like the ghost in the subway. When I was looking at him, I was just like, is he affecting the environment around him? Is he just kind of there? I couldn't really tell, and that was only for a couple ghosts. Again, minor problem, but it was only for a couple of them that I was just like, this feels weird that you're here. I can accept that the parade floats are coming down Main Street, but then you show me this guy, and it's like, I feel like there were some more time was spent on the ones that were in longer than others.
Honestly, when I saw most of the ghosts, I got, like when you saw the giant Uncle Sam, I got Bloodborne vibe from it.
Fair.
Like, because, the long limbs, the evil looking presence, all these, I was like, is this Bloodborne? Did the guy who made the ghost was like, hey, Bloodborne's pretty cool. Hey, that's pretty good. Ghosts!
What's this, man?
Jonathan, did you have anything to add? You looked like you were...
What you call it? I was just like, off of your point, where did the first two ghosts go?
Wait, the woman.
An excellent question. They wood chipper the Satan ghost.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
No, the.
The woman. That's right.
Yeah, the woman and what you call it,
The electric chair guy didn't come back.
No, they did.
Did
Yeah. It was when, if I remember correctly, it was when Holtzman said, "Say hello to my little friend." She shot both of them. She shot the female ghost and the electric guy.
Okay.
Because they were flying in at her, and she was like, "Say hello to my little friend."
Oh, that was Aaron, not Holtzman. Holtzman was the dual pistols.
No, wait.
Because when Aaron says it, she pulls out the.
Oh, then Aaron did it then.
Okay.
Aaron shot them.
Alright.
Maybe I was just distracted by the weird lip thing.
Yeah, but they did. She did shoot them, and they got taken out.
Okay.
Oh, last one again to impose our ish rule. 6. I felt like a lot of the voiceover stuff, like it felt like it was jokes put in to make a scene funnier, but like they weren't naturally fitting in, or they were scenes that was like that line should have been shot in its own scene, right? Because it'll be something like you'll see the back of the 4 Ghostbusters heads, and then someone will say something. It's like, did you mean to cut to them to say that? It didn't feel like they were. It feels like they're too
ADR?
far away for that to be something they're saying. I don't know, but again, real minor stuff.
So, are we moving on to improve now?
You guys got anything else?
No.
What do you call it? I would just say, if I were to add another one to my 5, would be like the comedy, like you said, because while I was sitting there, a lot of the jokes, like from the first act, fell flat, like so flat.
I agree. I don't know. The first act, it felt like the movie didn't hit its stride until around the end of the first act, maybe Act 2.
Yeah. What you call it? Act 2 is when it kicked up a bit.
Because even the comedy it felt like it switched, because in Act 1 you have the guy at the university making jokes about flipping the girls off,
Yeah,
and then it's like you don't see that kind of joke much anymore.
That was that ad lib stuff that I didn't like. I was like, where the heck is this coming from?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I thought it was funny, yes, because doing that kind of stuff, that he, like the whole, like the bird noise, because my granddaddy always did bird noises. I can imagine him doing shit like that. But it was just like, is that who he is? Is he just a jerk? Or I didn't understand that, nor did I really particularly like it. I'm not saying it wasn't funny, but it just felt like, why would anybody do that?
It didn't feel organic to the movie we were seeing.
Yeah, what you call it? He's gonna say suck it. He's not gonna say get it. He's gonna say suck it. And I was like, wait, why does that make sense? Why would he say that?
Especially if they're a university,
Yeah.
he's gonna get fired.
And didn't he just wasn't he yelling at them saying this is a prestigious school?
Yeah.
And then he just starts.
Yep.
I'm like,
Star Wars jokes.
What you call it? But
oh.
in Guardians of the Galaxy, it actually has an application. Just like, yeah, they're staring at him, putting him in jail. Like, yeah, he's gonna flip him off. But here it was just like, why are you a 12-year-old,
They were just doing it just to do it at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all kind of agreeing that the first act as a whole kind of.
The first act was weak, but then second act really picked up. Third act, again, kept up with the second act. So
It was definitely improvement throughout. It didn't have a drop.
2/3 of this movie was good.
And even the first act adequate.
Wasn't too bad.
Wasn't bad. Like I've seen worse first acts, but again, comparatively speaking. Okay, so that it.
Yeah.
Moving on to 5 things. Well, that's 10 fingers. 5 things that we want to change about this movie.
20 things we want to change.
Oh no.
We're rewriting Ghostbusters. Here we go.
The left button was a little too high. No.
All right, Grady.
I would say one thing I wanted to change would be, I wanted to see, more like dynamic with the characters, like maybe give them more like conflict between each other. If there was, because that's how they made it seem like in the first act. They made it seem like there was going to be conflict, and I was like, I didn't get that conflict, so I'm like, well, now I just feel a little bit disappointed. Another one, I wanted to see the original cast, minus Harold Ramis, of course, be the actual, like, original Ghostbusters. Because, like, I would understand, I would have liked it more if, like, Bill Murray came in and he was like, I don't believe in ghosts. And when they showed him, he started explaining how he started the original Ghostbusters.
I thought about that too, yeah.
And then, like, he would tell them, look, I trust you. You guys seem like you're doing a great job. I trust you with the ghosts. Instead of just, what they did to him and everyone else. And then, like, just bring them back. Not make them take over the movie. Not even make them fight. Just make them say, okay, yes, we trust you with the ghost busting. Make it the same universe, almost. But I understand what they were trying to go for with the whole... the girls are starting it now. And this is an alternate universe, an alternate dimension. But I just felt like with all the cameos, it would have made for, like, a better story.
I was thinking about that too when they were doing the movie. I thought it would be, because you said the stupid mayor and the government is real cover-uppy about this throughout the movie.
Yeah.
I thought about when Bill Murray came in, how cool would it be if he was like, listen, the government's going to be on you about this. It's such a headache when I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you just say you don't know what you're doing? You could say, oh, we're entertainment. You tell the government you're officially entertainment, and so it's the Ghostbusters busting ghosts while off record.
Yeah, off record kind of stuff. But I mean, I understand what they're trying to go for. Just the whole cameos felt like that's what. Again, it just felt like the whole movie felt like stuff that's this is what they're gonna do, but it turns out, oh, never mind, it was something else.
Yeah.
And that guy will like, change that, please.
Well.
Definitely, any editing mistakes that they had, like just all the various that's stuff they could have fixed, like like bad cutting from scene to scene. They could have fixed that. That's not really something shot wise. It's just something that's like hey, let the scene end. Don't just like don't make the scene and then just there's a second one. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was just like, I don't know. It didn't feel like stuff needed to just play on out.
Fair.
But that's all I can think of right now.
Alright, so 3 from Grady. Jonathan, 5 things you would like to change about Ghostbusters.
Okay, I would cut out all the unnecessary interactions within the first act. Aaron losing your job was totally... it didn't feel necessary. Like, they could have just cut her out. She could have been at an interview for the job, and then, like, not gotten the interview because of the Ghostbuster thing.
To lead to some lengthy drawn out scenes.
I forgot she was trying to go for tenure.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot.
And then that awkward scene where she's leaving her office and lying about it.
Oh yeah,
That felt weird.
That could have been completely cut out.
Rude.
There were scenes like that all throughout the movie, and I was just like, cut those scenes out. They didn't add anything to it. Especially friggin' like the ride over to the theater, because I was just like, all right, they just needed a space put in the Fall Out Boy song. Why?
I thought I'd hear about a 2016
I felt like
Ghostbusters movie.
I felt like they kept a lot of that stuff in because like the director was like, it's Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy. Just keep it in because it's them.
Yeah.
It's keep it in because we filmed it.
Yeah, that's what you call it. I guess.
What happened to the rest of the movie then?
Just keep it in.
But just like the most frustrating one was the car, just because like it was like 3 separate shots. I was just like, why?
What?
Gotta show off the-
Oh, where the ghost gets hit by the car.
Oh no, what do you call it when they were just like riding over to the theater?
What is? Or no, it was when the ghost got hit by the train that it shows the ghost getting hit at 3 different angles.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what happened? Did the train back up? You don't ever use that technique again in your movie. Why would you use this once?
Gosh.
Like, you had better impacts that you could
Yeah.
just show over and over, but they're just like, train. You know how expensive it was to get the subway train? We're shooting it at 5 different angles.
Larry almost died on this train. We were shooting at 5 different angles.
You know,
I guess it really is like, use the resources you have with the money you got.
I don't know, I felt like they had a checklist of things they had to complete. Like, impact at different angles, check. Voiceover, check. CG ghost in the tunnel, check. Director, we don't need any of these things. Don't worry about it. I gotta get bingo.
okay, gosh.
Weird class shot.
After that, what you call it? As much as I love Kevin was too much of an idiot. Like, he has to have some, like...
No, it's no brains.
Kevin needs a helmet.
No, I would say my favorite joke was like, is there sugar in this? Oh, God. Yeah, there's sugar.
I hate coffee.
I hate coffee.
But then he did sit there like a bird trying to get to the phone in the aquarium. At that point, I had to just not get Kevin a helmet.
I'm like, is he like just not bright, or is he just straight up dumb?
He's straight up dumb.
Like, not dropped as a baby, but
Dribbled a little bit.
dribbled a little bit, yeah. He was dribbled as a baby.
Kevin dumped.
Kevin dumped.
Gosh.
Why is Kevin stupid? Because he just got dumped.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
That's 3, right?
What you call it? Is it? I'm pretty sure it's only 2. Wait, what'd you call it? I talked about comedy.
You know what, keep going, buddy, as much as you want.
Alright.
My finger's going down, my hand's cramping.
Okay. So Kevin's problem my 3rd, because what'd you call it? Like, I feel like he needed some confidence, so what you call it?
You good over there? Sorry, go on.
I feel like he needed some confidence because just like when the camera was on him, nothing got done. And what you call it? I always want to feel some progression within the movie. Like if a character is doing something on screen, they need to be doing something that moves the plot forward.
Okay.
I wish Bill Murray's character was more of an antagonist than he actually was.
Sure, Bill Murray.
Yeah, what you call it? Because when we were watching that scene of him being on TV, and the newscaster going like, "Do you think any of this is real?" And he just goes, "Hell no." And I'm just like, that's not an explanation.
I am the authority on ghosts because I say I am. Don't ask me to prove it.
Exactly. If he's going to be like, "Hey, none of this is real," I want him to be like, "Hey, I know all about ghosts, and this is why I'm an authority." Not just like, "Oh no, it's fake. I can tell it's fake." Like, why? I don't need to tell you why.
That's another reason.
I'm Bill Murray.
I'm an expert. My dad works for Nintendo. I know this.
That's another reason why I thought it was going to be him. He was actually Venkman, you know, because he's saying just because. I'm Bill Murray, dude. Have you ever seen Groundhog Day?
I've lived this interview 100 times. I don't care anymore.
Also, like how easily his character got exited out of the movie. I was just like, okay.
He used the wrong door.
I think he requested that because he wanted people to think that, you know, he was actually dead. He wanted to think that they actually killed him because I can tell Bill Murray just wants to retire.
Ghostbusters, Zombieland.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna keep killing Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Please, the audience will eventually think I'm dead.
But
Not with these effects.
what should you call it? Like, I feel like you could have gone in the direction you were suggesting, where the Ghostbusters already existed in that universe, and now they're just gone. Especially when she was to go back to the high school story. Like them talking about ghosts all the time could have been just like, "Hey, we we admired these people back in the day. They were the Ghostbusters, and we believed in ghosts from them. And I felt like you could have expanded way more from just like the high school story than just like.
I have a theory for this, and fill me out. It seemed like this script originally was following a route similar to that.
Yeah.
But then later they had like the backlash of, oh, this is just gender bent Ghostbusters, this is just chick Ghostbusters. And so then they made the statement, no, this is its own thing, it has nothing to do with it. And then I felt like there had to be some rewrites.
I feel like that's what they were trying to go for, and then they were just like, okay, we're just gonna make it its own thing, because I don't know, I felt like it would have been better, honestly, as a sequel rather than a reboot.
Don't tell Grady about Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, what'd you call it? Bill Murray as an antagonist. What'd you call it? And otherwise, just better choreography on the fight scene, because I feel like it could have been super cool, but meh, it didn't. What'd you call it? And I want to say better execution on like the finishing blow, because usually within a movie you can like a character says something on how they're gonna defeat the villain and it makes sense. But this one kind of just felt like, hey,
Shut.
what'd you call? No, I mean in their whole plan to defeat them and stuff, where it was just like, hey, if we throw this thing that we said was basically a nuke into this portal, it'll reverse it. I was just like, okay, I guess that works out. Like, if there was more of a thing of like, hey, we learned in the first act that the proton packs are able to capture ghosts based on its power. So, what'd you call it? You could have actually done like a Ghostbusters thing where they were like, hey, cross the stream.
You know, it's a good thing that they have this in a separate Ghostbusters universe, because in the original Ghostbusters movies, they talk about the proton packs with the small nuclear reactors on their back. So, if we had that in consideration, then the car wouldn't have been as big a deal.
Yeah. What'd you call it? Also, I wish it was a more dire situation that, what'd you call it, Grady, can you look up the name of the villain for me?
Diet Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Dopinder.
Gosh.
Him and that wonton soup.
Was it?
No, it was Neil Cassie as Rowan North.
Yeah. When Rowan was busting up, what'd you call it, the proton packs as Abby, I wish that was more of a dire situation. Like, hey,
They didn't even show those being rebuilt, did they?
Nope.
Those are just fixed.
They just cut it and they're fixed again.
Huh.
Okay. No, hold on. Best joke. The power of Patty compels you was
Yeah.
the best joke. The power of Patty compels you.
I wish they hadn't put that in the trailer.
They didn't?
No, they did.
They did?
I wish they hadn't.
What'd you call it? I didn't see it.
That was such a good joke, though.
I usually avoid movie spoilers and trailers and all sorts, but Ghostbusters was one that I saw because it was everywhere. But that was one of the things that they put in the trailer.
Oh,
I think the first trailer, I'm pretty sure. And that's why I was worried so much about Patty being a dumbed-down character.
Yeah.
She came to your room.
Oh, definitely.
What'd you call it? But I wish that was more of a dire situation when that happened, because it didn't really affect them at all.
Fair.
Like, I thought at least, like...
Oh, no, I didn't get a proton shotgun either.
No.
I don't like that scene. I'm sad now.
Or at least, like, Erin being at a disadvantage, because there was no way she could have gotten her proton pack and stuff. Like, unless they just left her stuff there, back at the office, there's no reason she should have been able to get her stuff.
Idea.
What?
They have the spare proton packs. Like, they have a spare, but she doesn't have it. Kevin comes in on his motorcycle, gives it to her, validates Kevin.
Yeah! Anything to validate Kevin
But
and anything.
I think what really happened was it was a very small line, but Abby says, "Remember, I told you to keep the key in your bra." So that's how she got her proton pack. Because she kept her key. No. What you suggested would have been cool. What actually happened was she just took the key from her bra, and that was it.
What did you call it and opened up the...
That was another one of those girl power jokes that didn't really hit home.
Yeah.
Freaking, when you mentioned that, I was gonna mention the fart joke that made me, like, would it gross you out anymore if it was a front one?
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, yeah, we're here, Ghostbusters.
I'd say more Spy, less Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Spy, watch Spy. Solid movie.
If you haven't seen Bridesmaids, wait. Yeah, Bridesmaids was a good movie.
Both are good.
But, what did you call it? Yeah, I wish there was more of a direness towards the ending, because there wasn't really much of a crisis.
Okay.
And I think that qualifies as 5.
You've probably hit 5.
Yeah.
My hand got tired a while ago, so I'm not counting anymore.
I don't know what you call it. I either hit 5 or 6.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. My 5 things I'd like to change. First one. It's bugged the heck out of me. The rules of the proton pack need to be established.
Yeah.
They go from we can't shoot these things at each other to they shoot them into a crowd of people at a rock show to we can't shoot Patty with this to we can fire this as like a jetpack and I don't have to worry about my legs getting hit.
Wait a minute. They couldn't hit Patty with this.
Where they're like, don't hit Patty,
it.
and we're important.
Yeah.
Like, the rules for that thing changed so much. And again, another reason it was probably good, it was a separate thing from the universe of the original Ghostbusters, because that thing was deadly, and...
It was like a mini nuke.
Yeah. But that thing, they shot it like, oh, we can shoot this at anybody. We can't shoot this at people. It only hurts ghosts. Don't shoot Patty. It was way too inconsistent for it to be that pivotal weapon.
Yeah.
Like, that is the iconic weapon of Ghostbusters. You can introduce all the cool weapons you want, but you gotta have the rule for the proton pack.
You know what it was? It was Ghostbusters, the video game.
Like, where you can aim it at anything.
You can aim it at anything and anyone, and they'll, like, if you shot Bill Murray, you'd just be like, hey!
Yeah.
That was it.
I mean, these are things that are supposed to be so dangerous you can't cross them, let alone point them at somebody. I'd say let Jillian have more... No, her name Jillian, right?
Holtzman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jillian.
Let her have more lines in the beginning. Let her character have the same right to exist in this universe as the others, because in the first act she just seems unnecessary. I was watching, I was like, Amy could have done that, Aaron could have done that, Patty could have done that. And she just seemed like, I'm here to bring you things, and then sometimes I lip sync and dance. It was like, why are you the mascot of the Ghostbusters? Be a Ghostbuster.
What do you call it? Actually, I really like how she lip sync and stuff.
I mean, it was a good scene, but like, let her be a Ghostbuster having fun, not I'm having fun around the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, true.
It's like, you're better than that. You're supposed to be a scientist. As reckless as you may be, you are a scientist. That being said, another one, Patty, I would have liked to have seen. She shows her historical interest and her love of people for a while, and then that goes away. And I'm like, let her make more historical references. When they're destroying stuff in the rock show, let her be like, guys, don't destroy that. That's like from the 16th century or something. Like, let her have the appreciation for the history of New York that she has in the beginning of the movie. Like, she can tell you, hey, that's where this happened. They're looking at a map. She's like, that's this famous landmark, and this is that. Let her have that love of history. Because she went from, like, she's not a scientist, but she has her own mind. And the line where they say, Patty, you're a genius. And she says, I'm a Ghostbuster. would have had a lot more impact if you had let her show off her intelligence in her own right.
Patty, your genius is showing.
Where? But that bothered me because I was like, oh, because I was worried about the character from what they showed in the trailers. I thought that she was going to be like wow, look at the Ghostbusters, they're so impressive, and I'm going to do funny comical things kind of character. But they gave her a mind, but then they took it away, it felt like. So I feel like if you're going to let your characters be as rounded as these women were, let them stay rounded. Whether it's at your missing character at the start or you take it away at the end, it needs to stay. If you're going to have the ball rolling, the ball has to stay around.
Yes.
And just so I don't forget, now that you said that, I have 6.
Go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I don't want to strap it down or anything.
Nah, you're good.
But my 6 would be better team chemistry.
Sure.
Because there's not a lot of dialogue between the team. It's more like commenting on the situation at hand. And like them going back and forth with each other, it's just not there. And I think that that would flesh out more of their personality and traits that were established earlier in the movie. Like, I would like to see Patty be more of a socialite, because when you see her in that first scene with her wanting to say hi to all the people who walk by and stuff, I'm like, hey, nice jacket. Oh, sorry, that's a sweater.
Even give her like a sense of the people being hurt. Even like when they're going through I'm just gonna call them the Diet Stay Puft Marshmallow Man because it's nearly the same scene.
Yeah.
When the Ghost logo diet version comes through, for the first couple scenes he's marching through New York, the streets are bare because he has everybody frozen in place at his starting point. Then you see people running through, and then he immediately sucker punches a building.
Oh jeez.
How great would it have been if Patty was like, I'm pissed there are people in there. And like she gets all offensive about the people in New York, and she really shows like a love for just people as a whole, and that's why she wants to be a Ghostbuster. Not because I saw a ghost and I want to join this club. It's, people can get hurt, and I can do more here than I can in that booth.
Definitely.
What was this movie rated?
I don't know.
PG-13.
My next one was either get Kevin a helmet or let him have a brain.
Yeah.
Kevin was too dumb to live. He started out funny where he's like, he scratches his glasses and it's like there's no lenses in that.
Yeah.
That was fun. And then you have him like ask if he can bring his cat, and it's like a whole who's on first joke. And then he just gets too stupid to live. He's sitting there like, can't understand the concept of glass 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
And I would, if I could change it, I would have it where it's like, Kevin can be confident because he went from like, get this boy a helmet to, I'm going to be a Ghostbuster. It's like, hey, you've got a helmet. Oh, you didn't put a helmet when you rode your bike. Kevin, please, that helmet needs to be on at all times. But, I don't know, he did too much of a flip. And like, I haven't shown any reason that I should be any sort of lovable character like these women. These women are like, oh, Kevin, you can't hurt Kevin. And they show this like passion, love for Kevin. Like, you don't dare possess Kevin, you don't hurt Kevin. You haven't said a positive thing about Kevin except for that Aaron wants to sleep with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, you have said how much of a nuisance he is. Every single time that you mention Kevin, it's, oh, he is in the way. And then he's like, I want to be a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
So I can conveniently have a fight. So I can conveniently have a bike and ride away.
Freaking, even at the end, Kevin's just like, I did a thing. I pressed a few buttons on the elevator.
And I don't know. It's just like, Kevin, you need to have, if you're going to want to be a Ghostbuster, you need to have more of a brain than that. Because otherwise you're the little kid brother going like, my sister has her friends over, can I play too? It's like, Kevin, stop. Go to your room.
With a nuke on your back, Kevin in the city will die. Let's be honest.
That's very true. Don't give Kevin a proton pack, the intelligence that we wrote him.
Give him a squirt gun and say it worked.
It's painted white and red and has the logo on the side. Yeah.
I did it, guys. Yeah, you did, buddy.
Also, another thing that bugged me. The artist says, "I've seen a ghost," and then proceeds to paint the Ghostbusters logo. That means there's already a ghost that looks like that roaming around, or that guy sucks at painting.
No, what you call it? This is from that scene. I already knew. It was just like, this is an excuse for him to draw graffiti. What you call it? And you're just like, yeah.
He's like, fine, I'll get rid of it. And he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know he's drawing.
Yeah,
we
what you
all
call
know
it?
he's drawing.
As soon as you like, I'll cross it out. And I was like, okay.
Also, question for the comments: did he have a second spray can? Because I didn't see
No.
him switch paints.
No, he did it.
Same spray.
Okay, so we're dealing with the Pringles situation again. Great. Polish up the editing, write your characters, and keep them with the integrity that they have. And when you're bringing in your Ghostbusters, because I would have liked to have seen Bill Murray saying like, "Hey, low key be Ghostbusters," because it didn't work out for us when we did it. I don't even know where the other guys are, and then you proceed to see them. I think when we see in the cab, our cab driver Ghostbuster, you're like, "Hey," he could, when he says, "I ain't afraid of no ghosts," and drops the line, it'd be funny if he's like, "I'm not going there. I've done this already." And then they're like, "Are you afraid?" He's like, "I ain't afraid of no ghosts," so you can get your little plug. But make it like, "I've been there, I've done that, I'm not doing it again," kind of thing. When you get to your secretary, she can see the Ghostbusters walk in and go, "Oh no," and be like, "I tried to get away from
What
this."
do you
kind of thing.
want?
I don't know. I feel like if you're going to do those tie-ins, you can do them better.
They could have
There was the script showed parts that showed that there was better writing there, and I feel like there is a better version of the script out here. We just didn't see it.
It would make more sense. Was it Ernie Hudson?
Mm.
It would make more sense that he runs a funeral home now because he dealt with dead people before. He's dealing with
That'd
them
be
again.
funny too. Like he would say a line like, "I only like dead people when they don't get up," kind of thing.
He just comes in and just goes, "That's a big Twinkie." And that's all he needed to say.
Well, good thing they didn't drop that. That would have made sense. But even like when they cut to the firehouse and like, "You can have a firehouse, but you won't." It's like,
Let's get the firehouse.
like let them say like when they go, "Oh, we want an upgrade for a building," and then they go, "Well, we've got one in mind," and then it's like, "Yeah, you can do your plug," but it felt like cut in, insert Ghostbusters reference. Movie continues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, what'd you call it? It really would have been better if they just showed their actual place, and then what'd you call it? The fire department.
But that's it. Just most gripes I have is I feel like there's again a better script out there. I feel like these characters could have been represented better. They were written fine, but the writing didn't stick, I don't think. Okay? Finally, we are going to do the 5 words to sum up Ghostbusters.
My childhood is still intact.
My job is
Count me.
Well, I'm going to count on the bottom anyway.
Because this is not a movie that if you loved Ghostbusters when you were young, this is not a movie that will make you just, I don't know, burn all of your old Ghostbusters DVDs and just cry in the corner just because they ruined your movie. It's Ghostbusters. It's what it is. Now, I've heard this being said before, but if you genuinely are upset at the fact that there was women as Ghostbusters, don't go see this movie because you're just gonna, again, burn your Ghostbusters stuff. If you want to see a Ghostbusters movie in theaters, then yes, this is something you should go see. I'm gonna give my rating.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give it 6 boos out of 10 haunts.
6 boos out of 10 haunts. Okay. So why 6 out of 10?
It was okay.
Okay.
The movie wasn't great. Movie definitely wasn't terrible. It was okay. It was an alright film. There's stuff that could have been changed, but there was stuff that made it to where it was more redeemable. It's definitely worth a purchase on Blu-ray when it comes out.
Alright.
6 boos out of 10 haunts.
6 boos out of 10 haunts. Jonathan? 5 words to describe Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it was fine, I guess.
Okay. It was fine, I guess.
What'd you call it? Overall, the movie wasn't a bad one. Like, I searched the movie for any drags, and I didn't feel like it dragged at any point. I didn't think a lot of stuff made sense, but it didn't like really make it bad. It wasn't The Room bad. It wasn't like poorly written movie bad.
Yeah.
What'd you call it? Like, it wasn't right along I'm gonna say it.
And copyright strike from Kevin Hart.
But what'd you call it?
That would mean Kevin Hart watched our video.
Thanks, Kevin Hart, for subscribing.
But what'd you call it? It wasn't bad in a way that, like, this is a horrible movie. It was just like bad in the sense that there was a lot of potential here, and just it didn't follow up on all the places it needed to.
Okay.
And what'd you call it? When I left the theater, I just thought, like, this is the mighty number 9 of reboot movies, simply because it's an okay movie, but it's held back by the success of its predecessor. And that I mean, like, if there was no Ghostbusters before this, then you would have been just like, okay, this is a alright movie. There wouldn't have been a controversy or people being flip-floppy on it. It would just be like, yeah, okay movie.
Yeah. And your rating?
What'd you call it? Wait, did you say booze
Out of haunts.
Okay. 5 boos out of 10 haunts.
Okay. And your reasoning for 5 out of 10?
Just because, what'd you call it? Usually 7 is, like, okay if you like the genre, but, what'd you call it? I'd say I give it 5 because it's a movie. Like, if this came on TBS, I'd sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
Like, if this was a TV movie, I'd be fine with it.
Ooh, there's an interesting angle. Grady said he'd buy it on Blu-ray. Would you buy it on Blu-ray?
I don't know.
Would you buy it on DVD?
No.
So,
I really
your
would.
extent of rewatching Ghostbusters will be if it's on TV, you'll watch it.
Yeah.
And Grady said, you want to stick by it, you'll buy it on Blu-ray?
Oh, yeah, of course. I think it was a very visually impressive movie, and I like the fact that it was all women. And like I said, was it Kate McKinnon?
Yes.
Kate McKinnon is a beautiful woman, and Patty's Bay. That's what the kids would say.
Patty's Bay. What'd you call it? Was Kate Gillian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kate was Holford.
I want to see her in more stuff. I really do.
Kate, you're a beautiful woman. You might replace Meghan Trainor on my love list.
Oh my gosh.
That's up there.
That's strong.
Grady talks about that a lot. Wow, buddy. That's saying something. I'd like to see her return to this role.
Yes.
When they develop their Ghostbusters core universe that they want to do, I would very much like to see more of it.
If they do the sequel that they obviously will hint towards.
God, I don't let this start like M. Night Shyamalan doing his series of movies that stopped at Devil.
Devil was pretty bad.
For those of you that don't know, the M. Night Shyamalan movie Devil starts with a number 1 because it was supposed to be the first of a collection of movies. It was so bad they canceled the entire collection of movies.
We're not just take this down.
So there's just an embarrassing number 1 there. So hopefully we get the Ghostbuster core.
Can you throw up a spoiler alert?
Ta-da!
The old lady was the person who did it in the elevator. It was super dumb.
Oh, spoiler for Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan needs to be stopped.
Him and Zack Snyder, but that's a different review altogether.
Zack Snyder, we're coming for you.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Zack, no, please. And copyright strike.
Alright, anything else?
No, what'd you call it? That was all my thoughts before whatever I said last were all my serious thoughts.
My 5 words to describe this movie: don't count it out yet. There's a lot of controversy going around about this movie where people are bashing it already. I know that the figures that are in stores are already being put on sale before the movie was released.
Oh, really? I might get one then.
Well, $25 figures were being marked down to like $13.97, I believe was the
Oh, yeah,
price.
like, where are they?
Toys R Us was the article I read.
I want to go find them.
Well, it's closed right now because it's real late at night. But I would purchase a Ghostbuster figure. I purchased this movie.
Tomorrow we got our Eva party. Let's go. Let's go look at the toys.
Yeah.
We gotta finish the video first.
Anyway, Sam.
I purchased this movie on Blu-ray. I watched the original Ghostbusters recently, and if you take the nostalgia glasses off of it, you see that Ghostbusters, the original movie, spends a lot of time developing Bill Murray as a character, when his love interest, and this movie focused more on the busting of ghosts, while this movie does feel like an unpolished version of a better script and a better film. I still like it for what it was. I had to watch it again. I would, if it was on TV, I'd sit down and watch it. Yeah. It was a lot of good characters that I do want to see more of. I'm actually pretty happy that they're doing the Ghostbuster core thing. And I think that if you give this movie a chance, you ignore all the hate and backlash it's gotten for being all female or being another reboot movie. I think that as pure concept editing and character tweaks aside, this is the best reboot movie that we've seen so far in terms of like Jurassic World and Transformers, G.I. Joe. This is my favorite of the reboots. I would give this movie an 8.8 out of 10. Thoroughly enjoyed the story. There are other stories that I'd like to see done with it, but that just gets my mind racing for the multiverse universe thing that they're doing. Compared to the other Ghostbusters, I think Ghostbusters is a nice capsule of some of the best comedy of the time period that it came out, and I feel like this movie, while I can't say best definitively, I think it will serve as a nice capsule of comedy at the time. There is a lot of movies now that do that fourth wall-ish breaking thing where they will say like, oh, you talk then I talk, how are we doing, this kind of comedy, and I'm not crazy about that, and I think that's a phase that's been put in because of Marvel. And this movie seemed to be unapologetically Ghostbusters. It wasn't going to fit to any sort of norms or trends that have appeared right now. It said, we are making a movie, and we are making sure that you can watch it at any time. Like 20 years from now, kids can watch Ghostbusters, and there won't be worn out slang, and there won't be, like, it won't date itself, I don't think. So I think it's a very solid movie, and I recommend everyone see it. My booze out of haunts, 8.8, I believe I said.
Yeah, 8.8.
88 booze out of 10 haunts.
That'll be an interesting score I'll put up. But I think that speaks for itself, that I saw the trailers, which usually takes me out of the movie, but it still didn't bother me. It needs some tweaks, but I think if they're developing into a franchise, it'll work itself out in time.
If you guys are doing Ghostbusters 2, advertise it a little bit better than how you did with this one. Because the advertising is probably what really made the controversy stir up. Because it's like, the way it was advertised was like, hey, this movie's going to ruin your childhood of Ghostbusters. No, but I've got the proton pack and I've got my Bill Murray action figure.
Oh, what'd you call it? They shouldn't have tried to appeal to the fans and stuff.
No.
They should have just like
Made a movie.
yeah, what'd you call it? Just put out the trailer around the story and that's it.
You can click on my face to see Jonathan and I talk about You Know What's Weird, where we talk about female characters in media.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie got counted out because, again, the second you say all-female Ghostbuster, it is people being misogynistic or just being careful with the thing that they love. People are very sensitive with their childhoods and their nostalgia nowadays. But I think in the future, if we do more movies like this, don't announce it as all female. Just let it be. We're making a new
Yeah,
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Because we didn't get Ghostbusters. It wasn't announced as this is an all-male cast hunting ghosts. This is a cast of people you like, some SNL regulars, some funny men who
Yeah.
are making movies.
It really didn't have to be advertised as just, hey, it's women now. Because you wouldn't say, like, with a new action hero that's a man. You wouldn't just say that. Like, it's to me, it's insignificant what sex the person is.
Huh.
Like, I don't know. I didn't care. I feel like people really cared because for some reason people don't like women. I honestly love female protagonists.
I don't know. There's a terrible bias that people tend to say that women as comedians aren't funny, and that's just not true. There are plenty of funny female comedians.
Oh yeah.
But I think that stereotype is what ruined this film before it could even get off the ground. It's a good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think compared to the stuff that we're seeing, the reboots and the reimaginations of ideas, this is comes out on top.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. I liked it. It's pretty good.
Average.
I was indifferent about it when I went in. I'm a fan now. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Ghostbusters 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Ghostbusters 2, Electric Boogaloo. Alright guys, any final thoughts you want to say before we call it here?
Quit being mad that women take over certain roles because female protagonists I absolutely love. Because, you know, like in Life is Strange, that was a great female protagonist. Quit being sexist.
And stop being so sensitive with your childhoods.
Definitely stop being sensitive with your childhood.
Things change and they can change for the better. We just have to be open to it.
Next time on Messed Up Childhoods.
That's a sad television show. Jonathan, any final thoughts?
What did you call it? Both when more reboots come about, I think the filmmakers should be more focused on weaving their new narrative around the original story than appealing to fans.
Yeah.
Fair. Don't let your fans write movies, Hollywood.
Yeah, what'd you
Do
call it?
not let that happen.
If you have an idea on how to do something in a new way, what'd you call it? Like not all reboots are bad. Like you can have like, hey, I think it would be interesting if we put this kind of twist on it. Those ideas can be fun. And what you call it, you don't always have to adhere to how they did it in the first one. You don't have to homage anything. You just need to do your spin on the movie. And I think a lot of filmmakers like forget that. I don't want to see more just like, hey, this is how we're going to do the movie.
The original Ghostbusters was made to make a good movie, not to make money off of memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like this movie, for the most part, was doing the same.
It was doing the same by but also still throwing in the fact like, hey, yeah, look, it's Ghostbusters.
I'd say
Yeah,
85% of the movie was heart, and then 15% was influence.
What'd you call it? I think if they fully went through with what they were doing and what you call it, didn't do the cameos, I think what you call it, it would have came out a lot better movie.
All right. Well, that's our thoughts on Ghostbusters. Comment down below what you think. Did you like it? Did you hate us? Tell us why. Check us out on Facebook, on Twitter. We're on Twitter now?
Yeah, we're on Twitter.
Yeah.
Great. We're on Twitter now.
What'd you call it? We'll put that on the screen because what'd you call it? I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
My house is being broken into right now.
So, like the video, subscribe to Sound About Geek Stuff for all your nerdy needs. I've been Sam.
Jonathan.
And I guess I'm Grady.
He guesses he's Grady. Ask him on another day, he might be Steven. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. There's a ghost in here.
I ain't scared.